And spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Zerg player from recently acquired Team MVP is now actually a part of the Samsung Galaxy Con team from Samsung Galaxy Con. It is Shine. And spawning in the top left position, playing for Team Liquid, it is none other than HerO. Of course, all these guys is sporting their their EGTL tags. It always messes with you as a caster because the first thing you want to do is read that EG part, and you're like, no, that's definitely not it. And already it looks like he wants to put a, or at least be able to put a wall off at his main base. Shine. You know, I really don't have too much to say about him. He's one of those players I haven't really had much of a chance to cast against, or at least to cast in general. But a lot of tendencies around these Korean Zerg players. Of course, always good at the macro-y styles, lots of Roach Hydra, Viper, but it's oftentimes dictated by the way that the Protoss player wants to open up, since there's so many more different ways to take early game control of PvZ. So let's see what HerO wants to do. He is one of the trickier Protoss players out there. In fact, you could say he's one of the most tricky with some of the build order decisions that he does make, but we'll have to see if he does have anything particularly crazy up his sleeve. But for the meantime, it does look like he wants to go for a gateway expand. Now, Shine does go for the hatchery first, which isn't bad. His Overlord will scout out that there's nothing, at least here. He doesn't know 100% just yet. We do have the drone now being sent out to scout as well. No, it's going to be for a straight third base. So Shine really wants to play ballsily this game, going for the double hatchery before spawning pool. It's kind of a meta-gamey play. He's assuming that HerO will go for an expansion-based build. And the fact that HerO's not scouting means he can't really do much to punish this. If he takes his expansion at the regular timing, he's going to be totally, Shine will be totally fine against this. The really big threat is if HerO were to do something like add on another gateway or two, or go for a super fast Zealot Mothership Core Stalker push. Even a 2-base 4-gate aggression can be difficult to deal with as a Zerg player in this position. But there's the next for HerO. He doesn't know. And Shine doesn't really care. He went for this greedy setup without any information about his opponent's build, so he kind of rolled the dice, and I feel like he ends up ahead in this position because HerO can't really do anything aggressive. He didn't open up with a Zealot. He's now getting the Mothership Core out, but there will be Queens in time, or at least before the Mothership Core could even do any damage, considering that HerO himself does not know where Shine's base is. He's not scouted. Fortunately for him, the first base that he scouts in the bottom left will be Shine, so it's kind of a nice touch for him. At the same time, he's getting a Twilight Council that this Overlord is headed... Wow, it's almost like map hack level there. The Overlord was sent here before the Twilight Council was built, so it's just kind of dumb luck, but it's really uncanny how he went there. Now, HerO does scout out this third base, so he knows. He's like, oh, well, that was a unusually fast third, and the Overlord... Oh, it's turning around, but it did not see the Twilight Council. Very important. HerO still has an opportunity to go for some sort of special tactics. If he wants to go for a big Dark Templar play, he can. There's not that really much information. Now, the question is, HerO saw the Overlord come by. Does he know if the Overlord saw the Twilight? No, he's going to assume no. And there's the Dark Shrine beginning for the Team Liquid Protoss player. And HerO wants to go for some 2-base DT action. I love it. Going out of the Gateway Expand, there's going to be a very, very late tech for Shine because of HerO's... Excuse me, there's going to be very late tech for Shine because of his decision to go for the fast hatchery. So what is he going to do with this? He doesn't really have a crazy number of drones just yet. He's saturated in the main base, but the natural is mostly gas, and he's getting a Roach Warren, which kind of makes you think, well, is he going to go for some sort of 2-base style Roach attack? The Overlord's still not in range to see either the Twilight or the Dark Shrine, and when you're in this position, you gotta wonder as the Zerg, what is he doing with his gas? He sees 2 gateways at the front, no sentries. I think Shine seeing there's no sentries for HerO should definitely be a sign that he does need to get some detection. Obviously, without a lair even on the way, he can't do anything like get an Overseer or go for some sort of air-based harass, or even use an Overseer for scouting potential. He has to. He absolutely must build some Spore Crawlers. And if he doesn't, this is going to get really rough. 4 Zealots warped in to harass that third base. I'm just waiting to see the first Dark Templar warped in. He does have that Dark Shrine now. Putting up another proxy pylon. You know, without any detection, without any overseers, if he can get just straight up, heads up engagement with the DTs mixed into his army, the DPS alone will crush everything. In fact, he's just going to go in here with just these regular gateway units, and these Zealots and Stalkers being absurdly cost-effective, picking off 2 of those roaches, but now 4 DTs warped in. There's no detection. What is Shine going to do? These units are pressing in. There's the DTs. He can actually just use these as combat units. He doesn't need to try to run in and kill drones because there's no detection at all. He's picking off so many of these units. We do need to see a Spore Crawler. One will start in the main base mineral line as well as the natural, but these DTs are going to go ham before that, using the timer, slowing everything down, and by the time he has detection, the DTs will have killed anything that would have been a threat to them. This third base will fall 100%. More Lings and Roaches are coming over here, but there's no Spore Crawlers, so there will not be any detection. He wants to get the pylon shut down, but more Stalkers are being brought in. HerO has hit a magnificent timing. This Mothership Core is finally killed off. The Stalkers are trying to hide. The DTs provide great cover and can kill off units very quickly, but he does need to try to keep everything else alive while the DTs do their dirty work. So some more Zerglings have finished here, and these DTs and like super one-shot Zealots killing all these Lingos so fast. Now the Stalkers are being focused down, which is a very smart play. HerO is actually microing the Stalkers quite well around the DTs to keep them alive, and with this 2-base setup, he's starting to chrono out probes again, so we could see HerO begin to make a transition away from this DT play. Of course, he realizes that with this setup here, he's a little bit vulnerable to those Spore Crawlers since he did give so much time for Shine to get that up there. Now, we do have the Stargate coming in. A good play by HerO. He's keeping his eyes open for anything that could potentially throw a wrench in his plans, like Mutalisks. And in fact, he's just going to morph 2 Archons, which might be, well, to be fair, pretty much unstoppable here. He's going to run in. He has a very powerful force, but there's no way to reinforce. The pylon is so far away. How much damage can he do? Trying to focus down the Queen, does not get it, and the Archon's actually focused down. One of them does fall. The Zealots not going to be able to kill off everything, and HerO will lose this force, it seems, without really picking off any drones. So, you know, a good defense by the Samsung Comm player. Oh goodness, HerO's added on a second Stargate, and it's going Void Rays. HerO is, you know, he's opening up with the Gateway Expand into DTs, into the Archon shove, and now he's going for mass Void Rays. Yeah, double Void Ray production. This is interesting because he hasn't gone for anything like the air attack, but I guess when you need that many DTs, it's not really as big of a deal, so we'll have to see. He's just putting on another cannon as well, trying to be defensive. Having a cannon at the ramp is always smart, even if you don't open up with the forge. The Overseer comes in, and it does spot the Void Ray. Very important. And by spots the Void Ray, of course, I mean gets tagged. The Overseer now sees that Dark Shrine a little bit late. Also manages to pick off the proxy pylon of HerO. So Shine has prevented HerO from putting in any reinforcements. Now, this DT does manage to swing its way around. It's chilling by the third, and I wonder if Shine saw it on the creep at some point, or at least saw it pass by. He's hiding it. I feel like he's waiting for drones to come in here before he tries to actually kill anything off. And yeah, this Overseer is with the roaches, so he needs to be very careful in this position. But I don't think he knows about this third, so he doesn't know that HerO's taken the third. And HerO will be able to use the Void Rays to defend it. Well, the cool thing about Void Rays in this situation is that the army for Shine is mostly roaches. So the roaches are very vulnerable. The Void Rays, even with their prismatic alignment, deal an insane amount of bonus damage to the roaches. So this coupled with the fact that obviously roaches can't attack up makes these Void Rays super powerful in head-up engagements that involve those roaches. So now he's beginning to move down towards that third base, and what's here to defend? There's no Spore Crawlers at the third. There is a Queen for anti-air. The Hydralisk Den, though, still about 10 seconds away. There's no Hydras on the field just yet. He does have the Mothership Core recall available to go home with as well, so he's not committed with this by any means. The Overseer looks like it will die. A solid pickoff. Now, what will these 4 Void Rays do? We do have double Phoenix production behind this to help give them some support. He could try to actually focus down this Evolution Chamber, would be quite nice, and that's exactly what he's going to do. The Queen is trying to attack this one Void Ray. He can just micro it back, though, and yeah, that's exactly what he'll do. Uses the time warp to prevent the Queens from getting away, wants to pick them off, gets one. A second Queen could potentially fall, and he will be able to kill that off. So nice touch there. Focuses down a few drones, and this is a situation where HerO just retreats. Now these roaches are going to move up towards the third base of HerO. He has a single photon cannon to defend. There are some Zealots and Sentries that can go aid this force, so the Phoenix is well to try to lift them, but the cannon it is not going to be enough firepower. Recalls to that Nexus. Actually, a very smart move to be able to defend against this. The pillars, he's going to lose a decent number of them, but it's not the end of the world for HerO, as he was able to pick off some of the production for his opponent, and all of the roaches do die. No survivors for Shine. Keep in mind, though, Shine has managed to saturate his third base. He has a fourth hatchery on the way. And as far as tech goes, let's see. Well, you know what? Actually, losing that evolution chamber is very painful. There's no upgrades at all for Shine. He has a good number of Hydralisks out on the field. He's opened up with the Hydralisk speed upgrade rather than range. So by opening up with the speed, it allows him to be more mobile versus these Stargate units. But without the range, force fields and these Zealots are going to do a great job of keeping the Hydralisks from killing anything that's actually in the air. So he spots the fourth hatchery. I feel like, yeah, just send a couple Zealots over here. We'll be able to take that out. He has that wonderful +1 attack upgrade, which keeps these Zealots super strong versus Zerglings and the Hydras. And he's just going to run in using the Graviton beam. He's picking up Hydralisk after Hydralisk, and these bonus damage with the Phoenix is so strong. HerO starting to plow through this army a little bit, but not enough meat on the table as the sentries kind of take the road less traveled by. So they weren't able to get any force fields off during the actual fight. But HerO's still looking all right. He does have that supply lead, but 16 more Hydralisks. Will HerO be able to hold off the counterattack from Shine? That speed upgrade actually paying for itself quite well. Now he's managed to pick off a Void Ray, which more than pays for this Hydralisk speed upgrade. And the robotics base just now starting for HerO. I don't know if this robotics bay is too late. I feel like if you get the robotics bay in this position, oh man, at this timing, he doesn't have any area of effect to deal with this. There's an emergency Dark Templar warp in. There is an Overseer with the Force. He's setting the Zealots over. He needs some money force fields. Look, all the Queens are brought up. He's using the Phoenix to start lifting up. This DT is going to try to get some work in, and HerO's actually going to be able to shove this back, it seems. More Hydra reinforcements. The Phoenix all running out of energy. They can't lift anything else up, but as soon as they get the energy to, everything they touch dies, and a fantastic defense by HerO. Shine overstepping his bounds a bit there, and you know what, that DT did die, but that DT was a HerO. A fantastic hold by HerO, and still he was able to use those Zealots earlier to deny the fourth base, and keep map presence. By containing and keeping the map presence, he's got himself a really nice supply lead. As a Zerg player, you never, ever want to be down this much supply against the Protoss, and now the Phoenix just run in, start picking off drones left and right. There's a decent number of Hydralisks, but that timing where there's no Colossus, that has passed. We have the first one on the way. It will be done just about 20 or so seconds. We have +3 ground weapons. We have the extended thermal lance. And with this Observer, the creep tumors are going to die, so there's a little bit of map control and map presence lost by the Zerg player. I don't think HerO can actually press into this, though. There's way too many Hydralisks. He's going to reach a point where he needs to be watched out with how cocky he wants to approach this. And I do like that HerO's going for the fourth Nexus, throwing down the cannons to defend, as well as some Zealots. And right now he's just pressing his advantage. A 4-base Protoss versus a 3-base Zerg. I feel like that leaves HerO in an unbeatable position. Now if he's coming up here, he needs to be super careful, though. He will try to pick off the drones. There's no Spore Crawlers at this base. The Phoenix worth their weight in gold. If he loses these, that's so huge, he's going to fly right over the Hydralisk. A big, huge blunder by HerO as he loses a ton of Phoenix. Goodness, how many was that? That was, I'm trying to, I'm like, the special units loss tab isn't working all of a sudden, but a really, really big loss for HerO there as he lost so many of his Phoenix. He only has 8 now. It's not the biggest deal in the world because the Phoenix weren't the main DPS dealers, but they're so useful to pick up units and remove them from the game. There are some Templar out in the field now. We have Storm being researched as well. And the Infestors are coming out here, so it's going to be the Hydralisk Infestor is the unit composition of choice for the Samsung Galaxy Con Zerg player. The Zealot wants to deny this fourth base once again, as HerO does secure his own fourth, so there's the attack going. Now the Hydras must come in here to try to stop this. The Phoenix are on one side. It looks like the main army is going to push on the other. There's 2 Colossi here with the extended thermal lance, which means, well, yeah, have fun trying to stop this. The proxy pylon will be placed as well to help deal with this. And the thing is, the mothership core is here. If he tries to attack any of HerO's other bases, he can immediately jump back to defend. We'll try to get some fungals down on the Zealots. A nice little touch there. That does keep the Zealots from actually getting on these these Hydralisks and doing their DPS. The Void Ray not going to be enough, but the Storms are so good. Shine is bathing in them. He's trying to bait him up this ramp. No luck with that just yet. Shine does have a tiny bit of a supply lead, but more Void Rays coming out, more Zealots warped in, and as the Fungals run out, those Zealots are going to be able to get closer and closer to the Hydralisks, which, by the way, have had poor upgrades all game long due to that lack of the early Evolution Chamber. They only have +1 attack versus the +3 attack of HerO. This leaves HerO with so much extra damage, it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, this Templar is just trying to run out of nowhere and does just get a nice blanket storm for free on the Protoss army. HerO, he's going to warp in some more Archons, and this is very scary. He's bringing all the Queens. This is it. The Samsung GalaxyCon player is going to try to run him into Phoenix coming from the right, getting their Graviton lifts. The Colossi not really being a part of the fight, though, does mean that these Phoenix will slowly die. The Archons are trying to help defend. HerO's just bringing out everything that he can to hold this push. He knows that Shine is completely all in without having been able to get any 4th base this game. Continue to shove him back. He wants to take up that pylon. That's fine. It's going to warp in 4 DTs. That's actually very important to note. There's no Overseers. There's no really nice detection. And because of that, even more Dark Templar are going to be brought in. Gets the Fungals on the Zealots, but it's not going to be enough, it seems. Those DTs really going to town on this Zerg army. And everything just dies for Shine. A couple of reinforcing Roaches are here, but what will they be able to do versus an army this size? I don't think anything. Roach is moving over, but there's just not too much they can do. The War Prism's going to be heading out to do some harassment. Shine, I mean, he's saying it in there. He really doesn't want to lose this game, but he doesn't have any detection to even kill these Dark Templar. He's trying to warp in Zealots as a force field. And once again, that 4th base will be denied. The Roaches are trying to defend it. There's not really much you can do, though. He's stutter stepping backwards. Of course, he doesn't want to engage into the Spore Crawler, but there's the Zealots dropping the natural. The Pylon gets in the main, and there's the GG. HerO takes game number